crowded room buzzes with voices, each one clawing for dominance, desperate to rise above the din. Then you enter, wordless, steady, and the clamor fades as if swallowed by your presence. Power doesn't roar, it simmers in the quiet, a force that doesn't beg to be noticed. Nietzsche, the thinker who plunged into the abyss of human will, saw silence as a blade, honed by those who command their own chaos. Words spill from mouths like coins from a torn pocket, cheapened by their abundance. Yet the one who holds back, who lets the air thicken with anticipation, wields a strength that echoes without sound. Think of the last time you argued. Someone shouts, their voice cracking with urgency. Across from them stands another, still, eyes piercing, saying nothing, and suddenly the noise feels small. That's the alchemy of restraint. It turns absence into dominance, a void others scramble to fill. Nietzsche's will to power wasn't about volume. It was about mastering the storm within, letting silence be your shield. We live in a world addicted to chatter, where every thought is shouted into the void of screens and streets. But the philosopher knew that noise is a leash. React, and you're tethered. Stay quiet, and you're free. Imagine a crisis unfolding. Panic rises, voices tangle, and then one figure steps forward. Calm, silent. The room hushes, not because they spoke, but because their stillness demands it. Words lose their weight when they're flung carelessly, dissolving into the hum of the everyday. Hold them close, let them ripen, and when they land, they carve the air like stone. Nietzsche wrote of the wise, who let their actions and their silences speak louder than any sermon. In their restraint, they built a presence that lingered long after the talkers faded. Picture a negotiation. One side rambles, justifying, pleading, their desperation leaking through every syllable. The other sits back, unreadable, offering only a single sharp word that ends the game. Why does silence unnerve us? It drags us face to face with the shadows we'd rather bury beneath a flood of noise. Nietzsche saw this unease as a forge. Endure it and you emerge stronger. Flee it and you're lost to the herd. Society thrives on the racket, a machine that feeds on our need to respond, to prove, to exist. Step outside that trap and you become the one who watches, not the one swept under. History's giants, the stoic leaders, the solitary creators, didn't scream. Their quiet carved paths through time. Silence isn't passivity. It's a fortress, a space where the self is sharpened into something unbreakable. Nietzsche's Ubermensch, the one who transcends, begins here, in the stillness where true will is born. Sit among friends, their laughter loud, their stories overlapping, and choose to listen instead. Soon their eyes drift to you, drawn by the mystery of what you're not saying. People hunger for the unknown. The more you give, the less they seek. Hold back, and they paint you with depth, with power, with something they can't name. In an age of endless confession, where every fleeting thought is broadcast, restraint is rebellion. Nietzsche would see the oversharer as a beggar, pleading for relevance while the silent stand apart. This isn't about muteness, it's about precision, a strike timed to pierce through the noise. Words gain their edge when they're rare, forged in the discipline of a mind that waits. Most speak from impulse, slaves to the moment, their tongues betraying their fragility. Resist that pull and you mark yourself as something else, something Nietzsche called exceptional. Ever notice how silence shifts the air? The one who doesn't answer makes the talker squirm, unraveling themselves while you remain a locked door. Solitude fuels this. Nietzsche believed the greatest souls flourish beyond the crowd's clamor. Alone, you build a core that no noise can crack, a strength that needs no audience. The ideas that reshaped the world weren't screamed from rooftops. They were born in quiet, by minds unafraid to retreat. Nietzsche's own words, sparse yet seismic, prove the potency of what's unsaid. So how do you claim this power? Pause before you speak, let the tension build and watch them lean closer. Hooked by your restraint, stop explaining. Act, let the outcome stand, and leave the curious to wonder. Nietzsche would say the need to justify is a crack in your armor. Seal it, and you're untouchable. Listen more than you talk. and the world opens its secrets, fears, desires, weaknesses, while you stay veiled. The silent observer doesn't just hear, they see through. Make it deliberate. Silence isn't shyness, it's a stance, a signal that you're here on your terms. Nietzsche saw this as defiance, a way to say you don't need their validation. The powerful fear the quiet. They can't predict it, can't control it, can't bend it to their will. Stay silent and you slip through their grasp, a shadow they can't pin down. Look at those you revere. Are they the loudmouths or the ones whose rare words haunt you? Nietzsche's legacy endures not because it shouts, but because it whispers truths that stick. You hold this now. Every moment you choose quiet over clamor, you step toward something greater. It's not about being heard, it's about being felt, a presence that outlasts the noise. So what will you do? Keep feeding the world's hunger for sound or wield the mystery that Nietzsche saw as the root of strength? The next time you're tempted to speak, what if you didn't?